be so sad, Mom.
There's a lot of people that were killed here, sweetie.
Get him back!
Why would a bunch of people want to kill other people that haven't done anything?
It isn't easy to answer the children's questions here, where the Alfred P. Murrah Federal building once stood. The dust has settled and the earth has healed, but there will never be an answer to the one overriding question that everyone, especially the victims, still asks.
Why is a humongous question. It's gigantic. It's one word, 3 letters, that encompasses thousands of little questions.
Even if somebody told me why tomorrow, would we understand?
And you just don't understand why.
The question why is universal, but the families and the survivors all have their different ways of healing. Some hope that Timothy McVeigh's trial will bring some much-needed answers, but for many, the trial is simply another step in the long journey back from darkness.
There is not a person alive that misses their loved one any more than I miss Ted. But I cannot let this take over my life.
Kay Allen has slowly begun to rebuild the life that was shattered when her husband Ted perished in the bombing. She will not attend the trial in Denver. It would take her too far from her 6-year-old son, Austin. And seeing McVeigh in the flesh, she says, would make her too angry. She's already seen him once at a pretrial hearing.
He looked us right in the eye, all the way down our row, and we were all families of victims, and I know he had to know. He had to know who we were by where we were sitting. It didn't bother him to look at us.
Just the same, she'll be there to watch some of the trial on closed-circuit television in Oklahoma City, but she knows that nothing can ever erase the terrible loss.
It's not going to change a thing in my life. It's not going to make him walk through that door. It's not going to make anybody's children automatically be there.
But a conviction, Kay says, will bring her some comfort. 1 year ago, we spoke with Kay on the anniversary of the bombing. She still had Ted's coffee mug sitting in his truck right where he left it, and she still kept his clothes in the closet. Today, the mug and the clothes are still there. And on some days, Kay still forgets, if just for a second, that her best friend is never coming back.
There are still days, it finds it hard to believe after 2 years, that I can forget just for a split second that he's not here. And I'll think, when I get home, I'm going to tell him whatever. And then you think, God, Kay, how could you have done that?
Little things happen. Oh, I remember when we done that. That was back before.
Anthony Cooper has also spent the past 2 years picking up the pieces of his life. A life without his grandson Christopher and his daughter-in-law Dana, who ran the building's daycare center. The pain has eased somewhat, but as for his anger...
Total, complete, pure, right to the bone, anger. Every time I think about it, it just goes right, it's pure anger.
Anthony will also watch parts of the trial, but from Oklahoma City.
I don't think being within spitting distance of him, I would not spit on him. What I really need to hear is a verdict. I want to know, is he guilty and when is he going to die?
Anthony's son AC remarried last December, and the family is doing its best to move on.
He's nothing like the person he was before. Before he had his own little world, and that's all that really mattered to him. Well, he still has his own world, but he guards it.
You just take your turns between being sad and glad. Glad you're alive. Sad for those other people.
Martin Cash worked in the federal building for 12 years. He was on the 5th floor when the bomb exploded.
My eye was hanging out of my cheek. It had been blown completely out of the socket. I had a hole in my head right here, bigger than a quarter, and my skull was cracked all the way back.
Doctors couldn't save Martin's eye, and more than 100 of his friends died, but Martin considers himself lucky, and he's determined to face Timothy McVeigh in court.
I want to know I survived, and that I think he's stupid. I think he's naive. I think he's just a kid that doesn't know what's going on in the world.
It's quiet here now in Oklahoma City, but the cries of those who died still echo through this somber street. And although it may be difficult for some families and survivors to watch the trial, they will do it in the name of all those who cannot.